and painful pleasure turns to pleasing pain. The mind maketh good or ill, wretch or happy, rich or poor. Be bold, and everywhere be bold. Gather, therefore, the rose, whilst yet is prime, for soon comes age that will her pride deflower. Gather the rose of love, whilst yet is time. All for love, and nothing for reward. What more felicity can fall to creature than to enjoy delight with liberty? Her angel's face, as the great eye of heaven, shined bright, and made a sunshine in the shady place. Thankfulness is the tune of angels. The noblest mind the best contentment has. For there is nothing lost that may be found if sought. Ill can he rule the great that cannot reach the small. Then came October, full of merry glee. The nightingale is sovereign of song. Fresh spring, the herald of love's mighty king. But times do change, and move continually. For that which all men then did virtue call is now called vice, and that which vice was height is now height, virtue, and so used of all right now is wrong, and wrong that was is right. Ah, fool, faint heart fair lady ne'er could win the man whom nature's self had made to mock herself and truth to imitate. Fierce wars and faithful loves shall moralize my song. Go, little book, thyself present, as child whose parent is unkent to him that is the president of noblesse and of chivalry, and if that envy bark at thee, as sure it will for succor flee. All love is sweet, given or returned, and its familiar voice wearies not ever. The merry cuckoo, messenger of spring, his trumpet shrill hath thrice already sounded. He oft finds medicine, who is grief imparts, but double griefs afflict concealing hearts as raging flames who striveth to suppress. The poet's scrolls will outlive the monuments of stone. Genius survives, all else is claimed by death. For evil deeds may better than bad words be borne. Ah, when will this long weary day have end, and lend me leave to come unto my love, epithalamion? O sacred hunger of ambitious minds, gather the rose of love whilst yet is time. For easy things that may be got at will, most sorts of men do set but little store. Discord oft in music makes the sweeter lay. Sleep after toil, port after stormy seas, ease after war, death after life does greatly please. Entire affection hath nicer hands. Beauty is not, as fond men misdeem, an outward show of things that only seem. Who will not mercy unto others show, how can he mercy ever hope to have? All that in this delightful garden grows should happy be and have immortal bliss. Vain is the vaunt, and victory unjust, that more to mighty hands than rightful cause doth trust. In one consort there sat cruel revenge and rancorous despite, disloyal treason and heart-burning hate. Where justice grows, there grows eke greater grace. Hard it is to teach the old horse to amble anew. Much more profitable and gracious is doctrine by example than by rule. For deeds to die, however nobly done, and thoughts of men to as themselves decay, but wise words, taught in numbers for to run, recorded by the muses, live for a rising glory occasions the greatest envy, as kindling fire the greatest smoke. All flesh doth frailty breed. Laws ought to be fashioned unto the manners and conditions of the people whom they are meant to benefit, and not imposed upon them, according to the simple rule of right. This iron world bungs down the stoutest hearts to lowest state, for misery doth bravest minds abate. It often falls, in course of common life, that right long time is overborne of wrong. The painful smith, with force of fervent heat, the hardest iron soon doth mollify, that with his heavy sledge he can it beat, and fashion it to what he at list apply. Change still doth reign, and keep the greater sway. Gold all is not that doth golden seem. Nothing under heaven so strongly doth allure the sense of man, and all his mind possess, as beauty's love. Hasty wrath and heedless hazardy do breed repentance late and lasting infamy. Fretting grief, the enemy of life. Man's wretched state, that flurs, so fresh at morn, and fades at evening late. Discord harder is to end than to begin. Men, when their actions succeed not as they would, are always ready to impute the blame thereof to heaven, so as to excuse their own follies. Foul jealousy, that turnest love divine to joyless dread, and makest the loving heart with hateful thoughts to languish and to pine. A gentle knight was pricking on the plain. Through knowledge we behold the world's creation, how in his cradle first he fostered was, and judge of nature's cunning operation, how things she formed of a formless mass. For since mine eyes your joyous sight did miss, my cheerful day is turned to cheerless night. The ever-whirling wheel of change, to which all mortal things doth sway. Foretake thy balance, if thou be so wise, and weigh the winds that under heaven doth blow, or weigh the light that in the east doth rise, or weigh the thought that from man's mind doth flow. Greatest God below the sky. And thus of all my harvest hope I have not reaped but a weedy crop of care. How many perils do enfold the righteous man to make him daily fall? O happy earth, whereon thy innocent feet do ever tread,